What up, everybody? So, just thought I would give an update to everybody regarding this unemployment biometric business. So, I put out a video earlier and I took it down pretty quickly because the general consensus was the same. And it did make some rational sense. So, the consensus of the feedback that I got was that people were saying, well, they already have your photograph from a motor vehicle for your driver's license, and probably other sources, such as social media and whatever. Although I boycott most social media. I'm only on YouTube and LinkedIn at this point, I think. Yeah, I think that's it. And then, of course, Walmart has the cameras at the register and wherever else, right? And so I proceed, and they want me to scan or whatever, take a photograph, upload photographs of the front and back of my driver's license. And I'm like, okay, I've done that before for jobs and whatever, okay, fine. So I did that, but actually before I got to that point, they have you, well, if you choose to read it, they give you all this stuff explaining what they're calling biometric data. Bio being short for biology, meaning your physical body. And I'm like, starting to make me feel a little uneasy, And then it said something about how, so they give you an option to verify with your driver's license, your passport, or your passport card. I never heard of a passport card, but whatever. And they let you know up front that they're also going to be linking everything and checking your credit report. Makes me uneasy. Why do they need to do that, right? Since when does unemployment need to tap into your credit report? Do you see how they're basically connecting this web, right? These big entities are horrendous at getting organized and everything, and I know, I worked indirectly for Western Union, and they're a worldwide company, and they're a freaking hot mess. And so what they're doing is they're having us make the job easier for them to link our information all over the place, but anyway, have each of us upload our DMV, or MVC, whatever, motor vehicle, and all that. But yeah, now they're going to link it. Now all of a sudden it has to be linked to your credit report. And they assure you, oh, this won't affect your credit score. Well, why do you need to touch my credit report in the first place? Why is that relevant? See what I'm saying? And then, so I picked the driver's license. I went ahead with that. And somewhere in the mix, I should have just, recorded this, whole process, but then it says something about how at some point what may be required is what they call a voice print. So at some point they may require you to call in and let them record your voice so that they can then recognize your voice now too. I haven't had to do that yet. So I go ahead with this photo thing, and I'm thinking, oh, I'll just upload a photo of my choosing that I have saved on my computer. No. What Rick the Counterfeit said back in January, he wasn't lying. I thought he was full of it because I had never heard of it before, but he wasn't lying. They literally want a selfie. Literally want a selfie. And it said something about, oh, you have to, you must have a camera on your phone. Well, what about the really poor people who don't have a camera on their phone, who have a flip phone or whatever? What about them? And those are the ones that are probably on unemployment. So see how they're forcing people, they're corralling people to, you have to have a certain technology so that you can comply, and you must comply to get the money, to be dependent on us, right? See how this is all happening? So I'm sitting here looking at this thing because I'm on my desktop computer. I don't have a laptop. I have a desktop computer, and I've got a tiny little iPhone, which I don't like iPhone, but anyway. So the only camera I have is on my phone. I don't have a camera on my desktop computer. So I'm sitting here looking at, you know, the little setup, and I'm like, well, how's this gonna work, you know? So I hit continue, and it says, oh, we're gonna text message you a link to your phone, and then all you have to do is hit that link, and the link will then take the selfie. And I'm like, oh, isn't that convenient? You know, that they'll go out of their way for. That they'll do all the legwork and everything to have that happen. So they text me this link, and I have to give them permission, you know, give the software or whatever permission to use my phone, use my camera on my phone. And it literally scans your face. And you can see, I don't know all the technical jargon or whatever, but you can see that it's like scanning all the little contours and shapes and lines and everything of your face. It's creepy. It's really freaking creepy. And I didn't even get to see what the picture looked like or anything unless it came up on the computer screen for like a split second and I just didn't see it or something, but it's creepy. It's really creepy, okay? This is exactly why I didn't want to do this, but everyone was like, oh, you should do it, and not that I do what everybody says, because I do think for myself, but the rationale that everyone gave me was like, well, they already have your photo with DMV, blah, blah, blah. This wasn't just a regular photo, guys. This was like facial recognition technology, facial scanning, okay? This wasn't just a click photograph. This was like several scans of my face, of every line and contour and everything else, okay? It's creepy. It's freaking creepy. This is why I didn't want to do this. So, it's done. It is what it is. I better get my freaking money now. But I'm just making you guys aware of this is what's going on. Okay? It's not just a simple photograph. It is literally facial recognition technology scanning every line and contour and curve of your face. So, just be aware. Be aware. I wouldn't be surprised if at some point employers start implementing something like this, you know, and they'll use the same narrative of like, oh, it's for security, you know, whatever, bull crap. So, just be aware.